What is up, YouTube? It's Dear coming to you with another video, and today I'll be talking about the Nephilim, or the giants, and I'll also be talking about the Orishas of African spirituality. So the Nephilim, or the Nephilim, however you say it, giant people in the Bible. The definition on Wikipedia, it says, are mysterious beings or people in the Hebrew Bible are large and strong. The word Nephilim is loosely translated as giants in some translations of the Hebrew Bible, but left untranslated in others. Jewish explanations interpret them as hybrid sons of fallen angels. Genesis 6:1-4 talks about the Nephilim and who they were and where they came from. Verses 4 states, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. And the same became mighty men, which were the old men of the renown. It also says that the fallen angels came and taught them the secrets of heaven. But it also says they did wicked things, like drink blood, have sex with animals, and do violent things. And let's look at the Orishas. The Orishas are a group of spirits originating from Yoruba-land, I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong, which is a region in Africa spanning from Nigeria, Benin, and Tonga. Some people liken the Orishas to God and goddesses. Notice I said liken. Why are the African Orishas described as spirits, but in other religions they have physical beings on earth, but we're just invisible spirits? And also, why are we likened to be gods and goddesses when in the Bible it clearly says that God is within us, and without God we cannot fail? So in my video, The True History of Black People and Our Connection to the Universe, I said that black people have melanin in our skin. Melanin is dark matter in the universe. The dark matter is the unmanifested parts of the universe, like the building blocks. So that's another reason why everything is connected, because everything comes from this matter. So that means we all have a strong connection to the universe and everything that's in it. For example, the stars, the sun, the moon, the planets, etc. Anything that's in nature as well too, like trees, plants, leaves, grass. Because we all hold energy from those things within us. So let's look back to the fallen angels. In my last video, I said, who is Jesus? And it talked about him descending from heaven. And he taught them self-discovery and how to build a strong connection to God and yourself. And if the angels are God people and we all are God's true children, don't you think the fallen angels were black as well? And the fallen doesn't necessarily mean they fell. What if it means they just came from the sky? There was a tribe in Africa called the Dogon tribe. And I'm going to show a picture as well. The Dogon are an ethnic group of indigenous to the Central Plateau of Mali and West Africa. I think I said that right. They have incredible, advanced, and accurate knowledge of astronomy, astrology, and mathematics, which they could have not have discovered or developed by themselves. That's weird, because let's look back to the Orishas. They are a group of spirits originating from Yoruba-land, which is a region in Africa spanning from Nigeria, Benin, and Tonga. That's the same area or region as the Dogon tribe. So I'm going to show a picture. And also it says that they were indigenous to the land. So that means they originated from the land. And indigenous people tend to stay in one place and they don't have many visitors. So who could have taught them other than themselves? Unless the Dogon tribe and the Orishas are connected, or they're the same people because of how advanced they were. It also says no one knows where they originate from. On the website article called The Dogon Tribe, Extraordinary Knowledge of Astronomy, some people believe that they were Egyptian. descendant, and others believe they came from a visible yet known star called Sirius B. I'll show y'all a picture. So let's go back to the Orishas definition. It said a group of spirits. Well, spirits are invisible as well. So it doesn't mean they came from the sky, the stars, and remember our connection to the stars. So let's go back to the Dogon tribe. It said that they came from an invisible place or a star, unknown star called Sirius B. And it just said that the spirits were invisible as well. So let's try to make a connection there. And remember our connection to the stars. Have you ever felt like we're not at home? And they described Earth as a prison planet. So what if we were meant to explore space, but they kept us here? So let's go back to the fallen angels. I said, if the fallen angels were black, and if they came from the sky, and they shared their knowledge of heaven or the secrets of heaven, but if God wanted something to be a secret, why would he tell someone else, even if it's an angel? God is mysterious, right? So I'm sure he would have kept that to himself. But it can be a secret if you don't want another person to know it. The Dogon was known for their knowledge, and they also taught that, and they shared it with others. It said that they had encounters with extraterrestrial creatures as far as back as 5,000 to 3,000 BC. Also, if you look at the Nephilim or the giant, just think about it. Black people are physically bigger and stronger than white people, and that's proven by scientists. So think about it. Back in the day, people were a lot bigger. So what if the giants were just black people and they called them names and made them say things to fit their narrative? But then it states that they did wicked things like drink blood and eat people as well. But if we look back to slavery, the slave masters would eat black people and say their skin was delicate, and history tends to repeat itself. So who do you think were the ones that were really eating people? Also, it said they drank blood, but think about this. When you go to church on First Sunday, what do? You eat the body and drink the blood, communion. But why would you pick that as something to thank somebody for dying for them? And Jesus sacrificed himself for us. So, you're drinking blood and eating a body for somebody that sacrificed. Does that sound right to y'all? Why not just throw them a parade, a thank you parade, or a ceremony? But check this out. Let's look at Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is the day before Ash Wednesday. It's also called Shrove Tuesday, a practice of shivering, a practice of purifying oneself through confession. What is baptism? And after you get baptized, you have communion when you do the blood and drink the blood of Christ. But it's like the same thing, but they did it a different way. And also, Mardi Gras started in Mobile, Alabama. And there's a town in Mobile called Africa Town, where the last slave ship came to America, supposedly. But what if we don't know something about Alabama? Let's look at Alabama power symbol and house pyramid. And Alabama was once filled with mounds and full of Native Americans. And if black people were already here, what if Mobile was originally a black port city, but when the colonizers came, they came and took over everything and changed into their stuff. They have us believing it's wrong to pray to our ancestors, but they let us do rituals at church while doing communion. Rituals about eating a black man that was supposed to save us. But in my last video, we also talk about why does everything seem backwards, or why do we disown our own culture without knowing it? The church has you thinking your ancestors are bad, or they take our ancestor names, and make it their names, and give us the bad names. Because if you don't know your ancestors, you don't know who you are. And they also, let's look at magic, herbs, crystals, astrology, meditation, yoga, things that naturally connect you with nature and the original way of African spirituality and culture, our true history. So they're trying to disconnect us from our true history by replacing us and forcing us with theirs. Let's take a look at the KKK, for example. Let's look at their robes and their cross. And then I'm going to compare it to the Roman Catholic Church and their robes and their cross. And then the cross originally means death. The real original cross is the Ankh. This one. So, yeah. And we're also going to look at Nazi Germany and their use, the swastika. The swastika was originally a symbol of peace used by Buddhists. I'm going to put that information there so y'all can see a picture so y'all can actually believe me. Buddhists used this symbol for peace, harmony, and well-being. Well, we all know the Germans did not want to promote peace. And the colors are red, black, and white. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with symbolism and colorism, but that can mean a big thing as well. So let's look at that. The colors are red, black, and white. Red means dominance, white means purity, and black evokes a strong feeling of fear, anger, aggression, and sadness. And the KKK also uses the same colors. But why would they use a cross with the KKK? Because they thought they were doing God's work. That's why I compared it to the Roman Catholic robes and the KKK robes together. Okay. Here's a little bit more information about the cross. The cross has been an infamous symbol of torture, execution, and death. So if they use the cross and the color red is dominance, black is sadness, torture, anger, aggression, and fear, and white is purity, and they believe they're doing God's work, both groups wanted to purify the race. Hitler wanted pure German blood because at the time there were large amounts of black migrating and settling in Germany, and it's called them starting the mixing of blood. Remember how I said the fallen angels came and mixed with the humans? But Hitler said that all Jews must be purified and made them wear a Star of David. And then segregation, they also separated the blacks from whites. So, come on. So they separated the races, the mixed people, from black and Germans. Hitler got his ideas on torture from American authors on how to control the black population and their ideas, and his ideas from experiments with what they did from blacks to blacks during slavery time, and also the experiments that they were still doing as well, like the Tuskegee Institute experiments. And so what Hitler is basically trying to do, he was really trying to curate what America did to black people during slavery times. Think about it. So, if the Nazis wanted to purify the race and thought they were doing great things or playing God, who do you think they got the idea from? Let's look at Genesis 6 and 13. The end of all flesh. All flesh is come before me, and the earth, and before the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Notice I said the end of all flesh. And the big things that the KKK was big on was skin color, black versus white, white supremacy. And Nazi Germany was concerned about skin color as well, being pure blood, German blood. So it's like the same thing is repeating itself in history, but it's told in different stories to fit that time period and what was going on in that environment. And then, for example, people tend to go back to their roots eventually because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Nowadays, you have more black people focusing on building businesses, creating, traveling, teaching, and music. Everything they said we couldn't be, but we are. And if you think about it, black people have been limited to what they have since they stole from us. They just freed the slaves back in 1865. That was only 157 years ago. Civil rights movement started in 1954 and ended in 1968. So for 103 years, blacks couldn't do anything. We had to earn it, and we are still limited today. So as black people, we have accomplished so much in just 54 years while being free. So think about this. If it took us 157 years to teach ourselves how to read, write, make music, science, do astrology, doctors, become inventors, business, and become government, while not having anything or being limited, but we built a strong race in America. But they still call us names. And every time they throw something at us or try to hold us down, we always overcome it. So, if we did this in less than 200 years, think about what our ancestors did and who the original creators and builders of this world are. It's time to wake up and remember who we are. Thank you for watching this video. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope y'all enjoyed the pictures. I brought the pictures back this time. I'll try to make it more interesting. I hope I explained everything well enough. Thank you for all the support I've been getting. I really appreciate all the comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Thank you for also sharing more knowledge and information with me too. Thank you for sharing books with me. Thank you for just being here and watching me, and thank you for supporting me on this journey. So hopefully we can grow together.